Hooray, I'm a genius. Well, obviously it was more luck than skill, but hey, I'll take it. It made me feel good for a few seconds. But mostly what I'm going to do here in this video that no one will ever watch is rant about how the rest of this game panned out and how goddamn depressing League can be at times. You see, we had Sion in the top lane, and this guy was incredible. He definitely had no business being in Bronze 4 with me. And smurfing is one thing that can make League depressing at times. It's no fun to come up against someone massively more skilled than you are. So to begin with, I had some sympathy for the opposition, but I was on a 6-game losing streak, so mostly I was just glad to be winning one. Sion absolutely decimated top lane, then went bot and absolutely murdered that one too, including a pentakill under the enemy tower, which is what a skillful player can do, I guess, when they have a couple of levels and thousands of gold over their opponents. And then he blew up mid lane as well. We had an insurmountable lead, we had completely broken their base, and thanks to a bit of good timing on my part, we had the Baron buff. Good times. Except it turns out that our lead wasn't insurmountable. At this point, Sion stopped doing anything other than farming. He ignored all team fights, except for occasionally diving in and dying. Somehow he'd lost whatever god tier skills he'd been displaying 10 minutes earlier. Even going 4v5, you'd think we could have pushed home our massive lead to a victory, and maybe we should have. But it didn't work out that way. It seems possible to me now that Sion's main aim in breaking the enemy base was to get super minions spawning and then letting the opposition just farm in their base until they had enough gear to win the 4v5. And that's what they did. But it took a long time. It took them over 50 minutes to beat us, the latter half of which was spent trying desperately to get into their base, and watching as Sion, at max level and with enough gear to make God himself weep with envy, wandered around doing not much of anything. So what was this Sion's goal? I have to assume things turned out exactly as he wanted. So his goal was to make 4 people waste a whole heap of time watching a victory slowly turn into a loss, and 5 other people waste the same amount of time, albeit with the compensation of an eventual win. Now, losing the game was depressing enough. I'd really thought after losing 6 straight games my luck had turned, but I don't mind losing in itself. If I did, I'd never have played more than a few hours of League. Honestly, what I find much worse is being reminded that there are people in this world who are so immeasurably petty, so pathetically, pointlessly mean-spirited, that they will happily spend nearly an hour of their own time for no purpose other than wasting the time of others. I hate having to share a planet with such people, let alone a League of Legends server. Seriously, what the hell do they get out of this? I don't think I'll ever understand, and I suspect that's to my credit. Anyway, thanks for listening to this little rant on the off chance anyone ever does. Which is unlikely. But hey, stranger things have happened.